Welcome to the CFG Gamecast, episode number 14, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and release it on podcast services like Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean on Mondays. So show us some love and follow us on our Twitch channels to not miss an episode. You can check Smitty out on Smitty2447. You could check Sesh Evans out on Review Sesh, and you could check out Mr. CFG himself on CFG Games. I am Davis Green, and with me are a fellow group of gamers. As I said before, on the number 2 seat, we got a awesome Twitch streamer, awesome video producer, director, and everything else, aka the Backlog Queen. I got Sesh Evans. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing really well.
Awesome. Yeah, you are making things on working on so many things. All at the same time, you know that.
So busy, I throw everything out on the wall.
Yes, I know, right? Just throw it out and see where it goes. Exactly. So yeah, I'm always doing a few things. This, another podcast, doing a short film and crowdfunding for, and all of my streaming stuff right now. The stream I'm doing is all going towards the crowdfunding for that short film. Yes, that's definitely cool. You wanna pimp that out, because I know you probably in that mode right now.
I do want to pimp that out. It is called Metal Gear LOL, and it is short film based on the Sniper Wolf and Solid Snake fight from MGS1. It's a parody, and it's going to be really awesome. As a fan that's very critical of what I write, I really like it, and I'm really, really excited to get that out there, and anyone that could share or do anything with it. I'm going to drop the link in this, and I'm sure we'll have that once we have the podcasts actually posted up too.
Actually, yeah, send me the link, because I still haven't disabled the things yet, but I'll
message that.
Yeah, I'll do it and get that taken care of.
Yeah, you can also watch it on YouTube. It's Snake Needs Money.
Snake Needs Money. Yes.
Snake Needs Money. It's a very fun premise for the crowdfunding campaign. So if you're a Metal Gear fan, you'll get it. You'll like it. It's a fun one. Check it out. Snake Needs Money, or Metal Gear LOL.
Awesome. Great deal. And I got the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty on the 3rd seat. What is up, man?
Hello, my friend. It feels like it's been forever since we've done the podcast. It feels good to be back.
2 weeks, I know.
I know.
It's like we were on this really awesome groove of like doing it every week, and then eventually it just got too much when we're just too busy and sick and everything. Right. But it's good. We're gonna get back on it though, you know. So
exactly.
I mean, very shortly, I think Sesh and I are gonna be in the same area. You, me, and Sesh are gonna be in the same area, and like the beginning of August. So like that's
August, yeah.
Yeah.
We absolutely have. Yeah, we'll do one together. We have to, or at least we'll try to do one.
Could you imagine doing it with just a normal stream setup instead of having to like adjust all these different cameras every single time?
Oh my God. It's that would be like a God's gift to man at that point. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. Jesus. Yeah, but that's cool. So what have you been up to? Finishing up. I know you were playing Gears of War recently. Have you finished that?
Yeah, I've been working. Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. I'm on Act 3. Although I don't think it's very long game. So I should be able to crank through that. I didn't play it this past week. I actually had the opportunity to get a beta key for Gold Express. It's kind of like a cyberpunk Dead by Daylight. Very similar mechanics. I had a lot of fun playing it. Yeah, it was really enjoyable. I'm excited to see them continue developing it, do some more testing. I'm up in their Discord and whatnot. So that was a lot of fun. Other than that, though, man, I just been chilling. Staying busy with IRL things. Did a YouTube video with Vegas Suit TV, Beer Bros, their franchise, their episodes and stuff like that. So I got to drink a bunch of beers and hang out with some cool people. So that was a blast. You can check that out on YouTube. But I had to get that plug real quick. But yeah,
gotta get that plug as well to making things
absolutely
happen. So definitely good. Good deal. All right. And as for me, I've just been busy as always, man. That's like, it's funny. At the beginning of the year on our website, confreaksandgeeks.com, I said, you know what, we're not going to do as many conventions as what we normally do. But then, like, Jesus, dude, like, we've gone to an event every freaking weekend. It's insane. And, yeah, so like last week was Anime Expo. We got some interviews going down with this. Next week is literally San Diego Comic-Con. We got a group of doing that. And then after that, it's like we got a week off, and then I'm going to Vegas for Evo. And then yeah, and then our Game On Expo. So I've been really busy trying to get all that set up. We're amping up for our extra CFG Games Extra Life every year. So we're getting some really cool things coming in shortly shortly with that. So we'll give you more information once that comes out and once it's available. But we're getting things done, getting the good times roll pretty much. But anyways, let's get down to it. Each of us picks a new topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. We don't want to talk about just our own topics. If any of the viewers are listening, or anyone that's keeping up with the chat, just definitely say what you think. Smitty will definitely take a look at it. We'll have you incorporated in our podcast as well. Or if you just have a question, or if you have a topic that you want to post, go to the top area of the screen where it says CFG Gamecast. Place your question in there, and we'll take a look at it at the end of the show if we got some time. But other than that, let's get down to it. So it's been 2 weeks, and I feel like, Smitty, we haven't heard your sexy voice yet. So you are the first one to go, man. Go for it.
So obviously, I'm the big, within the last 2 weeks, the big announcement, I would say, for me anyway, would be the announcement of the Nintendo Switch Lite. There's been theories going around about it. We all knew this was coming. This was not a surprise. It took them long enough to actually post something about it. But I'm just gonna go over it a little bit, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it. Okay. So the Lite, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. It's got fixed Joy-Cons, right? A 5.5 inch screen, which is smaller than the 6.2 inch screen of the normal one. There's no TV output for it, so it's strictly a handheld game, and it says it'll support all current and future Switch titles that are supported in handheld mode. There will be some restrictions, for example, when any games require motion control through separated Joy-Cons. So there's definitely some limitations there as far as with that. It's going to have some 720 fixed display. Colors yellow, gray, turquoise. It's going to be coming out the 20th of September, and it's coming out for $199 in the US. The normal Switch costs $299. Okay. Here's my thoughts on it. Why? I don't understand this. This doesn't make sense. Why? I mean, okay. I could see, like, maybe like for a kid, I don't know why. Like, for me, it's like, I'm gonna throw the extra $100 and get the real thing where I can have it on a TV. I can, it's still a mobile thing. All games are supported. You're really, I feel like you're really limiting yourself if you were to get a Lite, just because it doesn't make sense to me to get it.
Is the battery power better? Like,
the battery power is actually not that much of a difference from what I've seen. From what the statement that Nintendo showed was, I believe, was only like 30 minutes more. So 7 hours, I believe. So 7 hours instead of the 6.5. So
it's a little bit better. Like, I can't really see like it being like, the only way I could see it being useful is if it's like a younger kid where they have very limited, where like it's a household that has very limited like TV. Or like there's only like the one TV in the living room, no TV in the bedroom. Like, a lot of parents do that, which is fine. This, so like maybe this is a way to save a little money while still getting it. Like, a lot of people do. Like, I know a lot of people that are more like handheld gamers than like sit down and play gamers. So I guess like you could save money that way, but yeah, I mean like only $100 to be able to play on a TV, have access to all the games, be able to use the extra controllers like that while still being mobile for only half an hour less battery.
Some said though too that, that it doesn't allow you to play the full. There's certain games that you can't play on that one than you can on the original one too. So personally, I mean, to be honest with you, like I guess my answer would be why not? It's because really, like you said, I think Sesh pretty much hit it. Like situational wise, maybe there are people that would prefer handheld. Like there's some people I know that has never played the system on their docks before. And and then there's other. I mean, I'm just playing the devil's advocate because for me, there's no way I would do that. But overall, I just think that this is something that Nintendo does, in my opinion. Like they always do these kind of weird things, these kind of weird like moves on saying, okay, well, let's give it to that group of people where they're saying, okay, we're going to cater for them and see where it's going to be. Because I don't think personally that this system is going to be like throwing out the numbers that what the original Switch does, but it's out there to say, hey, here's the people who know that here's the people who don't have a TV, or here's the people that travel a lot. Because like for me, the only situation that I would ever do that would be since I do travel a lot, would maybe be for that reason, is to just say, okay, I have a Switch on the go that I know I won't do it, but I don't know if I would want to do it for $200, but still.
See, that's the thing. Like I feel like it should be half the cost, and that makes me think of this other thing where I bet they're delaying lowering the price of the Switch, and they're delaying that by having this out instead.
Well, they already,
so like now if they made the Switch like $50 cheaper, who would buy this over that? Not many people, like even less people. But if this is $100 cheaper, like that's usually like the price, the markdown, once the system gets a little bit older. So they might be just doing this instead of that so they can keep the Switch at the real price that they've marketed it for.
Well, there's also, keep in mind that they were planning on making, there was going to be 2 different versions of Switches that they said they were going to be releasing. So there's another Switch that's going to be coming out that might be a beefier Switch than the one that originally came out, possibly. But I don't know. Like, so it's just to make I just think that it's just to make it cheaper, just to be cheaper. It's possible it's also going to be doing really well for the holiday season is coming up. And then you just have a lot of new people coming into it that likes handhelds, and then they don't want to switch. So I mean, I think they do have a good justification on why they want to do it, but I don't but for us, especially for us, since we stream and stuff, it would be a horrible system for us. So I mean, we're definitely not in the consensus of wanting to get that system. We'll be like, okay, why would I want to spend $200 for this?
Like if it lasted 10 hours and were $50 cheaper, I think it'd be really fair. Like that's a total, like that's fairly priced. You're getting something that's better in some ways, even though it's missing out on these other things like that. That seems like a fairer price for me, but again, I'm really not much of a handheld gamer.
I mean, I'm not either. I mean, were you gonna say something, Smitty? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not, and I just wanted to. So Kahaku saying that in the live stream here that it's going to be the Nintendo's basically version of a Vita, or maybe their equivalent of like a 2DS for Switch or something like that, which I can see that. And I think you made some really good points too. I mean, clearly they've got business people. They're always so successful, I feel like, with what they put out. So I know that there's a bunch of research and stuff like that. And I think $100 is a price point where, say, little Billy, their parents wouldn't even consider getting a Switch, but this one is $100 cheaper, I'd get you that. You know what I mean? So like in that sense, I would be like, I'll take anything over having nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I could try to sell them on, hey, get this one instead. It's so much cheaper and this and that. And the parents be like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. And maybe they'll do that. So it's like I can see it. I think they'll make money off of it. But yeah, like you say, that's streamers or ourselves.
They'll probably still spend $300 because it's like, well, is it just that, or do you need games too? You need some games too. So
right.
when you buy a $300 Switch, you're gonna spend $400.
Right. That logo, if we're gonna take out the docking bay, I mean, the docking bay
Yeah.
alone costs like $90. The official docking bay costs $90. So just on that alone, that title alone, like you don't even necessarily need to worry about like that kind of deal. Deal. I think it's perfect for kids, in my opinion. Like. I mean, like, so I mean, so I'm not going to ridicule them quite yet. And I'm kind of on the fence right now. Now, if Nintendo gives me one, I'll be a different story. I'll be like, okay, let me see how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and but like but overall though, I just think that I think it's a good move. I mean, I don't think it's it doesn't seem like it's a move enough that I would say it makes enough sense for them to explore it, especially since they're like the king of handhelds for years on end, you know. So
Right.
I mean, and since I mean, technically DS is still alive, but it's not. But there's no new game. There's no new games that they've announced in the past year or so. But still, it's like it could still be a good replacement. I would say to see where that goes. You know.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit better, but it's good.
Yeah. So I mean, so that's pretty nice. No, but yeah. So I guess that's what it is. What kind of made me a little annoyed is that why did they announce it this week? Like out of all the weeks that they could have announced it, like this is going to come off. It's coming out September 20th, so it's like in 2 months. Why couldn't they announce it at E3? Like I'd be like, why can it doesn't make sense. Like they would just say, okay, it's Wednesday, July.
What other news do they have going on now?
Well, yeah, but that's like
they gotta fill in the spots. That's why.
No, it's a big system. I mean, it's not like it's something that you would just randomly say, oh, hey, it's Tuesday, July 22nd. Let's just officially announce that we're getting another kind of system coming out. You know, I mean, it's like just for the heck of it and see where it goes. So,
I mean, obvious't even in the works at E3.
yeah, I know, right? So, they should. That's the one criticism I would say. Oh,
it leaked. Kaku was asking if it was leaked.
No, it wasn't leaked. It was officially announced by Nintendo. Like, and the way Nintendo released it was even kind of cheap because like they didn't even do a Treehouse or a Nintendo Direct announcement.
Oh yeah,
they threw it on YouTube, and then they also did like a small introduction on it, and then they officially did a tweet out in the day when they did it, and I was like, this is so un-Nintendo of them because like usually Nintendo's on that hype train on when they release something like that. But like,
who's on that team? Who's marketing this?
That's just me. And then like
trust me, it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Yeah, all right. And then later in the day too. So besides the 3 colors that they gave you, they also said like later in the day, then they gave me another PR release saying, oh, we're going to have an official Pokemon, a Pokemon one for a 4th color. And I'm like, give it to us all at the same time. You made us wait 5 hours just for all this. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me, you know.
And I would think that would be a lead. Why are you burying the lead?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
if anything,
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It's weird.
Yeah, could you imagine like they decided to just say, "Hey, we're going to show you pics of Bayonetta 3," and then just like they didn't even say anything about it. You know, it's like, come on.
Like, wait, what? What's going on?
Okay, great deal. All right. Okay, so the good topic as always, Smitty. So now it is my topic. So let me see if I can find my topic real quick. I know I just had it. I hate when I do that. Okay. All right, so here's my topic, and this is I don't know who likes fighting games. I hope people have played fighting games on that's watching or listening. So at Anime Expo, we had a really cool opportunity to go talk to Psy Games, and we were able to talk to the developer and also the director of the upcoming fighting game, Granblue Fantasy Versus. So we talked to Yuito Kimura and Tetsuya Fukuhara. So these are basically the big two top wigs that were there. That was pushing, saying like, okay, this is the stuff that's coming for this Granblue Fantasy game. Now, people are not familiar with Granblue Fantasy. It's a gachamon. It's originally a gachamon kind of a card game that's really popular on phones. It's been like really big, giving side games like a ton of like money to mess around with for other things. So unfortunately, we don't have that card game in the U.S. But we got the anime that came from the card game, and then now Granblue Fantasy Versus is going to be the fighting game that Arc Systems is making. It looks like a very beautiful game, and they recently had a beta that came out like about a month ago on it. Anyways, so the big knock on this game is the level of difficulty. Like the gameplay, the game is not really like combo driven or very heavily pushed for high level players. So so when we had the opportunity, my reviewer came by and asked them what are we going to what's going to be the balance of the game between high level players and more casual Granblue Fantasy fans would have for it. So to keep the hype of this game, and it was quite interesting to me because he said something, and let me see if I can get a quote from him. It's kind of a long quote, but I'll say it. He says, "The first thing we wanted the game to be was very understandable for the people that are seeing the game. Like what is happening in the game. When the game gets too complicated in esports, a limited number of people spectating it. A limited number of people spectating it doesn't understand what is happening. So we just wanted to make everybody spectating. Oh wait, that's just the right path, the right one." Extra strategic dev.
I've actually had that conversation before. While you're looking for this, just about doing. I've done like some spec documentaries for like League of Legends, and I barely have ever even played the game, and I get what's going on. But there was like my other producers, and just explaining to them and trying to figure out the ways to make it not just like cinematic, but something that's digestible for like any audience, that even if like they don't play the games, like it's a really big deal. Like it's very important to be able to make it so that even if you don't 100% know everything that's going on in the game, that you could make it so more people can watch it because you want it to grow and you want it to be more popular.
Well, that's just that's just the spectacle point of it.
Right.
The big point is when you're actually playing it, and this is where I kind of disagree with him on this. It's like he says, having not so fast of a game speed and short combos instead of massive combos that take half or even more bars. We didn't want to implement those aspects of the game. This is for the sake of having it very understandable for people to watch. So that is something that benefits the beginners and players as well, especially since the game speed is not that fast and the combos are not super intensive and complicated. When people first start off, they can get a good idea of what to do to make the characters quite easily. So basically, what he's saying is that there's only going to be 3 hit chains in the special move, and and then your special move will have a cooldown, so you can't do a duplicate of the same move over again. But because of how simple that game style is, because he's saying that to slow down the game and to make it easier for the gamer. I'm going to kind of take out the spectator on this one, but the gamer itself, it's going to introduce more competition, like a better competition for everybody. I've done competitive gaming a long time ago, and when you make things easier, even though it's going to be easier for the masses, it makes people kind of pissed because it's like
yes and no. So yes and no. So I play Smash, and I do consider like the Smash Brothers series, even though they are very in depth, they are very simple compared, especially in the way he's talking about, where there's like these long drawn out combos. Whereas Smash, like it's all these like loose things you can put together. Like it's like very simplified. Like there is not just a push these buttons and these are your combos. It's you have to do these specific moves. And with all these other factors in play, you can combo and go into this next thing. So yes, cool. Because then like people like even if you give them like a really simple template, like there's a lot they could do with it. But then they also did Brawl. So maybe it's not so good.
Well, I mean, Smash is a ridiculous. It will be the biggest exception to it because of the fact that it's not even really a fighter.
There's no health bar.
It's a traditional fighter game.
Yeah, so, it's not traditional.
But like before a fighter itself, like man, if you're gonna make it that simple and trying to make competitive play, like really cool to see and stuff like that, to knock it down. I don't know if I agree with that because it's like I don't understand when they say that when you slow it down, it's going to give you these different kinds of options that opens it up. I played it and I was like, this is too easy. This is too simple.
Yeah, I can see with that because like with Smash, there's always even if it's like super simple, there are two things that you could be doing. You can either be knocking the other guy off the ledge, or you could be causing them damage. And those don't necessarily have to be at the same time. So there's always those two different things you can do. Whereas in a conventional fighting game, there is only the health bar. That is all you got. You got to get rid of that health bar. It's already simple in that way.
Yeah.
So if they're also making the gameplay really simple, I don't know. Like I'd be really curious to see it because I'd like to see something different in like conventional fighting games. It's not much different, but just like a nice little twist. But I'd be worried that it would be too simple. There wouldn't be enough fun to have for it to, do what is it? Go into the lab, like it sounds like there's not a lot of ability to go into the lab and work things out,
This reminds me of what's it called? Like kind of reminds me of when they kind of look down on Americans on playing RPGs and they released Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, like back in the day. Mystic Quest was basically like an easy game, an easy RPG to kind of tell you that like basically have someone hold your hand to beat the game on it. And then like it's actually fun. There was a video made by Pro Jared a long time ago about that game, and it's like it kind of reminds me of this. It feels that they're kind of looking at wanting to get new people in, so they're going to dumb it down as much as possible to kind of introduce these new people. But I don't feel that I think that hurts their game than helps it, because that means that your community is going to be very limited or niche or niche, very niche. Because the last thing that you're wanting to do is that you're wanting to either isolate it to a point where that you're going to consider this game to be another anime game, anime fighter, like, or you're going to change it to this, and then your whole community is just very, very, very limited. It's because it's not fun, it's not strategic, it's just there. It's like oh, it's a fun game. It's a good game. Yeah. Like, hey, you want to watch Naruto?
I think if something is really simple, you can make it very strategic because you're very limited. Yeah. But it sounds like they're not going that direction.
You can't make it like, but you can't like if you're because like dude, like the way that they were describing this is that they were wanting to make this thing like a top like a tier sport to see on the screen, like a stream, like when you see Street Fighter or a Marvel or a Versus game or something like that, but. I don't know if this game is going to last a month on when it comes to that because of it,
I don't understand why they would do that. So this is a popular game. You're saying Japan? No, it's a popular fighting game?
No, the game hasn't come out yet. The game doesn't have a release date yet, but it like we've gotten beta, and we had beta. I played with the beta a little bit itself, and then it's a full-fledged fighting game. But the problem is that. To make the game strategic is that they're saying that they wanted to slow it down by not focusing on the on combos or like on heavy drawn combos, as well as make your move. They're treating your moves as that's another thing. Your moves are one button. They're not like command. They're not like down the forwards. They're not charging. There's one specific button inputs for your move. So like so anyone can do it. So it's very, very simplistic for it. And then they're saying because of that, the way they're doing the system is that they're saying that they're introducing a new kind of strategy for fighting games. And I don't know if I can agree. Like I messed like if I didn't mess with it, I would be like open to it. But I messed with it, and then I was like, no,
I like the sound of it. Yeah, new strategy for fighting games. But then with the entire premise being to make it easier, like, well,
I just can't. I can't. I think I mean we're gonna. I'm still gonna give it a good old college try after I actually mess around with like true characters and see how top play will work on some of these.
Like, were you playing against people or just the game?
I was playing with people.
Yeah,
but everyone
weird though, because what are they trying to? I mean, it doesn't seem like you're not gonna accomplish as far as with that though. It's like I understand bringing new players in and this and that, but like top tiered players are still, I mean, it's not going to change anything. And I mean, I know it's easier to do to moves, but they'll figure out ways and different strategies. I mean, maybe that's what they're looking to do is see what kind of strategies that come, when you have these top tiered players playing a game where anybody is capable of doing, basically the same moves and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It could be an interesting, it could be interesting to see. I mean, that piques my interest a little bit because I'm not really a fighting game guy. Just I've never had the dedication or any of that stuff to be able to do that and just run. My brother played a lot of Street Fighter, would do that stuff. But I'm more of a, I like the, I'm just going like that's why I like Smash because like. That I can at least understand a little more. But again, there's more variables to it. There's trying not to get damaged and trying not to get knocked off or having to go and grab some, whatever. So I don't know. That kind of interests me as a person that's not really heavy on the fighting game side of things. It's like, oh, that sounds like something that could possibly be up my speed. Maybe it's because I'm a muggle. That's what it is. Don't look down on me.
See, I hate combo strings, like that kind of stuff. Like 8-button combo strings. Like I'm not a fan of those, and a lot of fighting games have them. So I mean, I play Smash, but I don't really consider that a fighting game. So I could say I'm not super into like fighting games because of those strings.
When you see a game like Marvel and stuff that goes ridiculous on the combos, I mean that's like the far end of the spectrum when they have like ridiculous combos and stuff like that. But come on, Street Fighter isn't that ridiculous. I mean, Street Fighter.
Yeah, that one's not.
Street Fighter's like maybe at best maybe a good 8 to 12 at best 8 to 12, and it's not even like everyone can do that. So like so it's not like. I can understand where they're coming from when they're saying that when they have these ridiculous chains like Tekken or Marvel Versus and stuff, they wanted to veer away from that. But like, and that's perfectly fine. But like, I don't know why you not only got rid of that, but then you also replaced it with slow, like you're saying, making it slower. And I think the strategy is going to be when you're going to do your special moves because there's moves like has a cooldown time, so you can't do it consecutively. So I think I could see that I think that system I have no problems with, but I don't know if I can see this as like top tier, like see how top tier player is going to play. Because it'll be to a point where it's like, hey, you're going to be the maybe the one of 5 people that are going to be playing this at the at a side tournament, and then you are the best in that tournament. But it's not saying like hundreds of people are coming in to play this game again with you, like Blaze Blue or stuff like that. So
right.
Even if they just do like a timed cooldown for using like special moves, that would be super interesting because a lot of fighting games do it where either you're getting combos, so you build your special move bar, or you're getting hit a certain amount, and then so you get it like compensates for you kind of losing, then you get your special bar increasing as you're getting hit more. So if it's just a straight timer, that might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it is. There is a cooldown timer. Like if you do if you do like a Shoto move, then you can't do another Shoto move for, I believe it was like I think it was like 5 or 6 seconds. I can't remember, but like it was you actually have a legit downtime on that, and that's where the strategy will probably come in. But as opposed to like punishing and stuff, I don't know. It's like that's where I'm kind of 50-50 on. Like from the grasp of most of the thing, I've only seen like some people can do overheads, but not everybody. There are cross ups, but like and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see how this goes. But like that was just one thing that kind of stuck out to me this week. I'm like, really? It's like I don't know what you kind of saying on this. I see what you're saying. You're not going to badmouth your game. I understand that, but like, but I don't know if I agree with what you're saying with this. But we'll see. We'll see when there's a release date. Okay. Sesh, you are on the floor. What do you have for us today?
So I want to talk about Netflix, specifically about Cuphead, and a little bit about that game and a little bit about the other releases that Netflix is taking on that are specifically based on video games. So the exact tweet from Studio MDHR, which was Cuphead Studio, coming to you in full color and cine sound. It's the Cuphead Show. Witness the wondrous Inkwell Isles as you've never seen them before. An original series inspired by classic animation styles of the 1930s, now in production by the talented team at Netflix Animation. So this is really cool to me. I mean, we haven't really seen a lot of animated video game based shows or movies, and this is going to be a series too, which I think is really fun. Like, if you're not familiar with the game, it's a crazy game. It is so unique for a video game. Like, they're actually hand-drawn drawings. Like, it is animated animation, completely based on like the 1930s style. So there's a lot of like weird dark stuff in it that like you don't really see in like modern cartoons now, and it's just like that old-timey creepy vibe. Where things are like a little upsetting, a little disturbing, even though they're trying to be, it's like really cartoony, but also really adult. Because cartoons that era, they're not necessarily for kids. So there's a lot of stuff like that in the game, and it's just really crazy if you've seen any of it. I've not been able to play it myself yet.
You haven't played it?
Platformers, I've only like watched a lot of people play it because it's super cool looking. Like it's so impressive. Like all of it, everything in it is completely alive. Like there's like nothing stagnant in it. It's exactly like when animation was like a novelty, and like the video game treats its own animation like a novelty, and it really is in like a gaming space. That hand-drawn cells being like the animation that the characters and like the backgrounds go through is really cool. So it has like this really unique style, and I'm just super interested to see where it goes. Like the whole story is like Cup makes a deal with the devil and has to get back his soul, or something crazy like that. Like it's just really loose and dark and weird, but I think it's really cool that they're doing something that is animated, and they're keeping it animated too, because I think a lot of video games would do better to stay animated rather than live action. And we don't see that often. We usually see like the live action adaptations, and we also usually see a feature film adaptation, whereas games, we all know, are longer than most movies. So it's kind of hard to adapt it, because then you have to like cut out so much, and like it just sometimes doesn't work. I mean, I'm rolling around thinking about all of this too, because again, like I'm doing my Metal Gear Solid short. There's a feature film of the Metal Gear Solid video game that's coming out as well. And so I've for years racked about it in my brain, just like, how would you do it? How would it be done? And like for me, like I do see that series are the way to go with a lot of different video game adaptations, and Netflix is doing it with a few of them. Like I think they're doing. I had one article up here about it, but it's giving some ad troubles.
I'm like trying to keep what you're saying with with Cuphead. You kind of switched over.
Yeah.
You pivoted over to Metal Gear. Like,
well, yeah, there is the Metal Gear too. I'm just in that world right now where you're thinking about like how to do adaptations, and you know, because I am a filmmaker, so I think about those kinds of things a lot. But like they do it. Like I do think like series. I've thought this for a very long time, that series and like TV shows, miniseries are like the way to go with video games rather than movie adaptations. I mean, we know we've all seen so many terrible movie adaptations. So in my head, like, yeah, they need series because they need the time to tell the actual stories that you play through. That takes 6 to 12 hours usually on like a lot of story-based games. That's just not 2 hours worth of stuff. Like it's just too much for it, and like you really lose a lot.
I think circumstantially, though, I think it really depends on like what they're implementing. Like for instance, like I think Witcher, like I think it's a perfectly good series to kind of go live action on.
Yeah.
I'm also glad that they said, okay, we're not going to do a movie of this because this would be way too short. There's so much into that world. But like
exactly, and that's another Netflix one that they're doing as well. So
when it goes to Cuphead, though, like when it comes to Cuphead, I'm really glad that Netflix is in-house doing the animation. And what I really definitely respected was that they are also hand drawing that animation, just not on paper. They're doing
like it's actually. So, Netflix, wow. They're doing it. I did actually, thankfully, the good article's still up that had this bit that I did want to say. It's being produced in collaboration with King Features Syndicate, whose animation and comic book arm, King Comics, is home to the likes of Felix the Cat, Popeye, Betty Boop, and then there's 1930s animation that Cuphead is specifically based on.
That's still around.
So it's they still have like ownership of them, and like they still do the comics, and there are like some of the shows that like pop up, but like it's the 1930s style, like it's those guys taking care of it too. So it's really awesome. Like them plus Netflix is. I do really love a lot of Netflix animation stuff, but I think it is there's a cheapness to it that this show should not have, because they have all the frames. Like I read it earlier too. There's 50,000 different frames of unique hand-drawn animation running smoothly at 24 frames a second instead of like the normal that they do for animation, which is a little bit lower. So there's a smoothness to this game. Like it's hard to, like, you're looking at it and it is hard to believe that this game is hand-drawn because it is so smooth. And it is like, it looks big budget smooth. Like it's wonderful animation to it. And it is animation, which I always appreciate too. So I think they're doing it the right way too. Like, you know, this isn't like a huge, long, years spanning series, but they still sound like they're taking care of doing it the right way. So it has me, because they're doing this one right, and with like the things they've been saying about The Witcher, and I think there's another one they're doing. What was it? I think it was in the other article. There's another one.
Smitty, have you played Cuphead?
I haven't played it either. I've only watched people play it on stream. It's a gorgeous game. It's a crazy nuts game, and I love that. I love how you said that every piece of everything in that game is just alive, and it's all, you know, there's constant movement, and that it's nuts. And that, you're right, there is that. It's like that dark kind of animation, because it's not like it's an animation, but it's not like your kid's Saturday morning cartoon kind of animation.
Yeah.
It's dark and heavy, and like there is something about it. It's really intriguing. I love the fact that, you know, they've got, you know, you're saying that they have the frameworks already in place with having, you know, the people that have worked in that style and this and that. So it sounds like they're taking care of it, and it's gonna have that authenticity to it, which will be really nice to see. I'm excited for this. I've never heard it. I didn't know that they were doing anything on Netflix. So this gets me.
It's brand new, and like they do have like other few shows that they're doing. I think they mentioned, I read somewhere that there's going to be a Resident Evil series, which again, I'm like, yes, finally something that will give it a chance to be good instead of the crap movie they're out. And then there was another one that came out.
They're going to do a Final Fantasy series too.
I've heard of Final Fantasy. Yeah, and then there was one other one too. I know I'm just saying Division because we talk so much about Division, but I think it was possibly either like Division or Call of Duty, like one of like the ones that would be like another live action rather than animated adaptation. I think it is. So like they're doing like a lot. They're pulling a lot of these, which has me very excited as somebody that watches a lot of media rather than just plays it, but also plays it and want to see these adaptations. And again, being somebody who's for a very long time wanted to see them in series form rather than in feature length form, just because the length isn't enough. I'm excited for it. And like, so I think this one's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be trippy and weird and just dark and awesome and really cartoony.
Yeah, so it's you're definitely looking forward to it. Well, hopefully we'll see how long it's going to last. Like when the series is going to. I mean, hand-drawn animation is going to take a long time. I don't know how far they are on like episodic wise. I feel like this thing is going to come out like in 2020 or 2021 when we kind of forget about it, and then it's like, okay, here we go. Unless they have like a army of animators, just like, you know.
I mean, a lot of the places do, like if it's the two big companies working on it, and I'm sure, you know, a lot of the people at the studio that made the game, I would put money on them actually being part of the animation team as well, since they specifically did animate. So I'm sure it will happen. I'm sure they'll find a way to do it.
MDHR is totally hands off on this. That's what the owner said. The founder said, because he said that if they were a part of this series, if they had their hands on making a TV series, it will never get done. That's exactly what he said.
Right. Yeah. Well, as long as they're hands off, but they're definitely like supporting it. Like it was they're the ones who like tweeted it, so like it's all like very like I'm sure like creatively they have a say, but maybe I was mistaken then with like the actual animators helping out in any way like that. But like it's all very exciting. I think it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really interesting to see that kind of like style like It's
Why
weird,
is
man.
Cuphead not on PS4? Because like they have it on,
I don't know.
it's on PC and and they have it on Switch, but PS4 it's not is not on the exclusive one. It's like what's going on with that? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that is kind of.
Yeah, that's because Smitty, yeah, you need to put that on your.
I didn't know it was on Switch.
Yeah, it came out on Switch
Yeah.
a couple months ago. Yeah, but yeah, you need to put that on your stream list though, because that's the one that you should.
It is on my list. Yeah, no, it's definitely on my list. I've seen people just like that game. I don't know, man.
People literally lose their nerves when some of these fights, because some of these fights are like, I can't believe I didn't beat him and stuff. Then there's a death counter, like I think I died like a total of like
oh my gosh
times and stuff. Yeah, it's such a good game though. It's just a fun, because like the game is somewhat fair, not all the time fair, but most of the time it's understandable on why you lose, you know. So
right,
but no, you would definitely enjoy it, and I would love seeing you die so much in that game. So
yeah, everyone that plays platformers needs to play it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Big time. Yes, big time. All right. So we'll cut this up a little bit short this time around, but it was definitely good topics of discussion. What was I going to say? Just went blank. Yeah, you know, it's like
Chat?
I'm getting ready for I have to go to a bachelor's party after this, so like I'm already thinking what's going on. Yeah, I know, right? So I was like, oh, okay, let me get this going. But guys, thanks again for stopping by on CFG Gamecast episode number 14. And remember, we're on every Saturdays. Next week we'll be on Smitty's channel, so definitely stay tuned on that. You can also check us out on our individual Twitch channels. Smitty, what are you streaming right now?
Right now I'm doing Gears of War playthrough and Overwatch on Fridays, and that's really kind of been it right now.
You know what's funny? It sucks. Like summertime sucks because there's nothing that's really coming out until like maybe September, and then like when September comes, right, that's when, like that lull. But still, that's cool.
It's beautiful.
It'll give me a chance to catch up on things. I've been off stream too. I've been playing Borderlands 2, so I'm trying to go through that as well.
Getting ready for 3. Yeah, makes sense. And you can definitely check Smitty stuff out at Smitty2447. Sesh, what are you playing?
So, right after this chat, as soon as we're all set, I'm actually going to go back to playing Metal Gear Solid 1 for the PlayStation 1 to help promote all the crowdfunding and the short film that I want to make and do all of that. I'm playing through the entire series. So, I've already played 1 through 4 in my life, but I'm playing through those ones again, and I'm going to add Peace Walker and MGS 5, which I haven't played ever. So, I'm really excited to get to those. And I'm really, really excited because today is when I'm doing the wolf battle, which is what my short film's based on. So this is the time. This is the moment.
Right on. Definitely stay there. Help Sesh beat Sniper Wolf, and also find the DARPA chief on Review Sesh as well. And on Mondays, actually my schedule just recently changed, so I actually have time to maybe start streaming again. I will be starting to stream some just messing around with Monster Hunter, messing around with I don't know what I was going to do on Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday is going to probably play something random. But on Saturday next week, I'm going to be starting our multiplayer of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That comes out.
Nice.
So we're going to start playing that with the whole gang. So definitely looking forward to that. You get to check us out anytime on CFG Games, and we will be doing some big things with everyone here. So this is Davis